There isn't a single light or wire done on the ceiling. It sucks. I located the power panel and it's below us on the, in the basement, right between these two studs here. It says panel down that way. So I'm gonna run some wires inside this particular stud cavity, going up there, and then do some lights from then on the underside of the ceiling here. What I did is I located the stud and I marked it with a pencil. I also located these white masking tape pieces here, or where I located a screw with a piece of strong magnet. And what I do is I just cut along the line neatly in a straight line, so that when I have to mud it with and tape it and mud it and finish it and paint over, I have the least possible damage done on the wall, because the drywall saw has this big teeth, this big teeth, and they rip out and tear the paper, and they make a huge thick saw curve. And they also you cannot cut on the stud. I wanted to cut exactly on the stud. Okay, it's gonna come out with a little more grunt than this. And then the piece of drywall, you can just lift it away, just about like so. You can see the stud in there. So when I put the piece of drywall back, it's gonna go flush with the previous piece. It's not gonna be a whole lot of finishing and a whole lot of problem. So that's as far as I got with this one. I'm gonna be drilling through stuff through the bottom plates and top plates in the stud cavity, and there's also a beam overhead. I'm gonna go with this 1/2 inch drill bit. That's a spade bit, and I'm gonna be drilling from the underside so the chips clear themselves, and it's a long drill bit. The 1/2 inch will work for house wire or armor cable, because this one is less than 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch would be 0.5, and how do I do this so you can see? And on this one we have less than 0.5, we have 0.4. So this will work. It's gonna be a tight squeeze, but this size of hole will work. And what we've got here is this beam that runs, what beam? This is a beam, that's a piece of plywood that's nailed onto it, and this beam is this deep and this wide, 6 inches wide and 12 inches deep, and it runs the entire room there, distributing the roof load going on left and right, the load going on left and right sides of this French door here. So this beam must be staying in place, and there shouldn't be too many holes and notches in it. There will be one, and this is a 1/2 inch hole going in from the underside, neatly going through the joists. The joists above run here and here, so I'm gonna end up in that joist cavity there with one hole going somewhere here. So that's the plan. The layout on the ceiling is beginning to take shape here. You can see where the lights will be located, and I put string lines up there on the ceiling so I can drill the holes and install the lights in a straight line, and these will be straight by the string, not just straight by measurement of the edge of the wall, which can be wavy or crooked or whatever. So the lights will be actually centered in the room reasonably well with this with these string lines. And I will of course also go across, just like so, across the room, but so that's being done there, and the strings are just staying in place, just like so. Take a look at it. Just nothing fancy. Strings. Okay. And what happened? Yes, I said I would drill, and yes, I did drill. And a good length of cable does fit through the hole. And about there I'm hitting the underside of the bathtub overhead. You also notice that one piece of wood has gone missing here because the length of my drill bit, this one here, was not long enough, and that piece got destroyed in the process. But there's more wood that I can, there is more wood. I can add the 2x6 here before I put the cable in, you know. And there, the length of my drill bit is that much, and it just was too short with the other 2x6 in the way. So that part is taken care of so far. Now I'm going to need to drill a hole there, a nice one, which will look like this, and this spotlight will fit into this hole. It's been tried and test fitted, so that's the right size of hole. So that's going there, and I can reach in there and I can grab the top of the cable from this joist space that's gonna be popping up on top of this beam. Well, actually that's the theory, because down here at the other end I had a little bit of a problem here. I drilled in here first and then over there after, and then other spots I hit an air duct there. I'll show you how things look like, because I'm just going to put you on a tripod, because I have a camera I can place in there. And yes, with this piece of 2x4, you know, I hit 2x6 with this drill bit. I hit a nail at second 3 hole 1. There's the original. There's one of there, that one. There's a nail that was going in there, and I hit it there with this one, so which dulled this one at its corners. It was only 2 or 3 turns, so I could finish this work. And yeah, the camera. Here is my camera. We are going down the hole there, and you can take a look at what's inside. Just a sec. Good. We've got light and we've got action. So there. This is where we are now. See what's inside here. We're going down. Some debris falling in, and there is a 2-inch or whatever length, or whatever diameter pipe which has been hit many times. Those are the scratch lines that that happened on this one, because this armor cable was being pushed up and down there so many times, and then I had to drill by it further down there. Now the camera is not gonna fit through that second hole now there, but you can see next to it a cable, that's an electrical cable there, and you can see them in the basement in a sec. What else can you see quickly? And more wood chips and more pieces of wood, and there is more electrical cables around. I don't wanna spend your time with this. Let's go downstairs. I'm just gonna switch this one off. Okay, let's go downstairs where you can see the situation. At the breaker panel here, we have the cable coming out. There you can see those shiny gray cables running there, and eventually that's the main cable coming in, main power coming in there, and some more of those gray cables run there, and these are the same gray cables. Finally my new armor cable came through, and I pulled it through on this side of the breaker panel, and I installed this cable clamp there, and I stripped away the rest of the armor cable so it can be installed into the breaker panel here with a nice breaker, standard procedure. So that this part, oh yeah, and I had to cut away another chunk of drywall, yeah, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to add the extra circuit. This new line is an extra circuit and a new hole in the breaker panel. You know, I need either on the left of it or on the right side of it, so I figured I'm gonna go here, because on the left side I have to move this wall or tear down the wall or do something, and it's gonna be a whole lot of unknown, where this wall is a fairly straightforward chunk of wall with not a lot of features in it, just an outlet down there. And I thought I could manipulate and work on this side way better than taking apart this closet or there, and who knows what's inside there on the other side. So it isn't easy, nothing ever is. Who said anything about easy? Yes, I'm making progress with the ceiling. You can see some of the lights are installed already. That's how it looks. I haven't removed the marks for the little pieces of masking tape with my joist marks on it, and I have one location there where the light is yet to be installed. I left it open on purpose. Story time, sit down and enjoy. So back here I have this 2-pole switch. Sorry, I have this switch that for 2 circuits. One hasn't been added, the other one has. It apparently works, so I've got 2 lines there. I'll show you upstairs what kind of fishing I had to do there for the wire to make it between this joist space, those 2 joists there, so the lights are on. It doesn't look like a disaster zone from down here, but I had a couple of problems. For example, that I hit wood, some kind of wood I did not account for, and I'll show you what's happening upstairs. Because upstairs I opened the floor, and now you can see into the upper bedroom. Alright, so let's go upstairs and I'll tell you what happened. I'll just switch this one off. Let's go up. Yeah, nothing is easy. So I had to pull off all of these baseboards. That's just a pop-in item. Of course, the kids' furniture, everything had to come out. And I have 4 pounds of nails pulled because I opened the floor just like so. I figured if I pull a bunch of nails, just this one is to be done here. There, if I pull a bunch of nails, it's gonna be easier than mudding, taping, and retexturing the ceiling downstairs. So I said, I'm gonna pop a few nails out of the plywood. Yeah, it's not that simple. What happens here, for example, for that light location there, the bridging had to be moved. What bridging? This bridging here, that cross bridging. So this one had to be just moved from this side to that side, because you can see on the other one they line up like so. Not a problem, not a structural issue, as long as it's in there. There's my hole from downstairs, and the hole that I drilled below wouldn't have worked from above here, because you can see that these, sorry, there you have it, maybe this way, there, you can see that the supporting little legs on this light are they need a little space on the edge of the drywall board to ensure that the light is sucked up all the way to the ceiling, and so I needed to drill it from above with a little bigger drill bit there. And of course, what do you see here? Duct work. This was in the middle until I moved it. That was fun, needless to say. Well, one end just moved because the pipe is long and is running that way, but the other end just didn't want to move easily because it's fixed into the floor and has, let me see, yeah, you know, this piece, and then the floor grill comes into it, so I had to move the hole opening that way by yay much. So this is gonna come back here. Of course I'm gonna have a piece of wood underneath, and this is all tongue and groove plywood initially. When I put the other piece of plywood that's there back here, it's all gonna be squishy along the edges, just like so. So I'm gonna need to add some reinforcement there all along, but I decided to cut a big piece of plywood out instead of a little Mickey Mouse piece or instead of 5 little Mickey Mouse pieces, because this way a big sheet is balanced easier and doesn't split, and you know, I can have solid strong floor with screws on it just in case I need to pop it, and of course roll the carpet back. You can see how the floor joists line up on the nails that go into the floor joist line up there on that piece of plywood as they are here on the floor. And oh yeah, the fishing, we had a fishing situation. Oh, before the fishing, yeah, the plywood. This plywood is so ancient that it was nailed with this type of T-head nails. Okay, I don't even know the last time this was made. If you're still one of the manufacturers who makes this kind of nail, don't, please. And so the fishing was done with this long wire. I just reached in there, and way back there, let's see, yeah, way back there where the holes from the beam are coming up, and you can see the armor cable extending from. I had just had to fish the wire this way. It was fairly straightforward, but wherever you drill and you do your layout on your ceiling, you know, I only hit this ductwork here. You might and the cross bracing. You might hit plumbing lines or stuff that you can't shove to the side, and if you already have holes in the ceiling, it's you can still take the round cookie and put it back and mud it and kind of make it look good, which I saved the cookies from the drywall cookies from the ceiling. And this is the only way with the floor open that I can drill a hole with this stubby drill bit, and drill a hole from there, drill a hole from the other side, and fish the wire across. This is the only way with the floor open like this. And down in the basement I just added a new circuit. I'll show you just so you have an idea. Oh yeah, in the other bedroom, if I wanted to continue this pattern with the light, I would need to just roll up the carpet and everything. I have another ductwork here, so the pipe is gonna go here in the floor, and I'm gonna miss that one because I'm going to the adjacent ones. But again, I can't fish the wire from floor joist to floor joist across, so I'm gonna have to open up this floor as well. I'm gonna make another big floor opening on it, and at the breaker panel I just added a circuit, super simple. Let me show you. There, breaker panel. This is how it looks like. These are the wires that I added, this red and the white, and that grounding. I don't want to touch it much, although the grounding should be safe to touch because the ground wires are connected there, and that one is touching the body of the breaker panel. The red, I didn't connect it anywhere because this is just the cable I found, and the new circuit is just added here. And let me just put my headrest light on my head, and the new breaker is just added this easily. That's all it takes. Here is breaker. This part, this clipping part, goes there where the power is coming from, and then just tilt it and clip it in place there, and then just that's good to go. If it doesn't flip, it's not shortening. Alright, I'll add some more light and you'll see how it's controlled with two of those switches. When you're drilling for electrical work or plumbing or anything, you shouldn't notch the bottom part of the floor joists, because the floor joists are being loaded with the occupant this way, and the easiest way to break a stick is if you notch it at the bottom chord here, where the bending is the greatest. Also try to shy away from the top edge for notching, because nails go through here. So your best bet to go through is somewhere around the middle, exactly in the middle, or maybe just a shy closer to the top. This side here is the compressive side, where the wood is in compression. Here it's being pulled apart by the bending forces. Definitely no notches here. In the middle, or a little bit up closer to the compression side, is where the neutral axis of the material is, where the length remains constant. I have another video about that. So that's how it looks like when the left side is drilled out, the right side is yet to be done. And over here I just started a hole and I'm drilling in here. And that one is through. I just wanna make no big slivers on the opposite side. So I go slowly and fast at the end. I like these lights because they are fairly easy to work with. It's got these two metal springs that are adjustable, and this is how it goes through the hole. So make it tight, and once it's inside the hole, these springy things kick out to the side, and then when you tighten the screws, it sucks it right up against the ceiling. As for wiring, I'm gonna connect it parallel, which is good because if any other lights in the system burn out, the light bulbs burn out, the rest of them will still stay on. And to do that, oh, it comes with these wire nuts. That's handy. Okay, so the side just opens like so. And to connect them parallel, I'm gonna need to connect black to black and white to white. Fairly straightforward. I'm just gonna need my wire nuts, these ones, and I'm gonna put it here on the tripod. Nah, it's falling off. Okay, so what I need first, I just need to strip some of the wire here. This one is gauge 14. Nah, yeah, gauge 14. Okay, it's 14 2/2 wire. So there's my wire stripper with the gauges on it. Nah, camera doesn't want to focus there. Well, anyhow, one of them is gauge 14. And there. That's as long as it takes. And there. And all I need now is one of them going through one hole, just like so. The other one going through the other hole. And I'm gonna need to make the connection inside this box. The black to black, just like that. 3 pieces of black is being connected together. The black from one of the cables that's feeding power to it, the other black that's gonna be feeding power to the next one, and the black that's actually the wire, the light's own black, powering the light bulb. Okay, let's see how this one works out. Yeah, just like that. The black ones are connected. Now the whites. All 3 pieces of them. I'll get you a close-up once I'm done. I just kind of have to do it with 2 hands on the wires. There. And now the ground. It's very important that you do connect the ground all the time. Okay, there's one ground there from one cable, the other ground from the other cable, and the third ground is the lights, so that the light body is also grounded neatly. The ground wire is just bare, exposed. Just like that. Okay, come, I'll show you. There. No, other way. There we have it. The blacks twisted together, 3 pieces, the white ones, and the 3 pieces of ground together. Put a light bulb in it, it's good to go. And this is how it looks like when I'm done. All the lights are wired in, and I put them on 2 circuits. These ones on one and these 6 on another. You can see the unlit living room has huge dark shadows there everywhere, and also there the books, that's a dark corner, very uninviting, and with the lights on it's lit extremely evenly there. And the other corner here, there. So that's how it looks like. And at the last minute, when I was working here, I was thinking about changing the pattern instead of going with the same pattern, because the living room is 65 centimeters narrower here from there to there, and I thought about, instead of 6 lights here, just go 4, 2 and 2, and I laid out locations for it as well. You can kinda see there's one there. I was thinking about that, and another one there, so only 2 lights would be there, because I thought this corner would be, the wall would be overlit here and it just wouldn't look good, I thought. But I figure, yeah, I read something on the internet, when in doubt, go for more light. So I did, and kept the pattern consistent, and that's how it looks like now. So you can see in this corner here, if you want to sit down and read, you can read a book there if you want to read a book there. And yeah, I'm happy I kept the pattern consistent. So that's how it looks like. Of course I'm gonna remove those masking tapes and everything, so there. And yeah, some of the bulbs are stronger, like these 3, and these 3 are stronger than those ones. I'm gonna change them all the same, because some of them are just too bright.